Welcome back to Between the Ashes, The Growing Silence for Freespace 2 here on Paladin Gaming. We are looking at the saved scan data in the tab in the tech room, which is just below the local system map here. And because in it is all of the scan points from Icebreaker, the mission in the Vostok, the descent mission, frankly, in the Vostok facility. So, which did not pop up in mission, unlike these here are the ship's logs from the first mission, and we read all those in we played all those in mission, and these are the manifests from the containers at Carter. But all right, here we are. I'm told some of these are voiced, but this one doesn't appear to be. Source: Varner J. Varner J at Masada.gta. Destination: Espinoza Z. Espinoza Z.Vostok.gta. Welcome aboard, Dr. Espinoza. I'm Captain Varner, assistant to Colonel Nkmurah, the de facto project head. I'm glad to have you with us. After the work you did on Project Idun, there's no one I'd like more in your role. There's a proper orientation waiting for you at Vostok, so I'll keep this brief. Inadam is GTI's newest weapons project, and one of its most ambitious. After the thrashing the Zods gave us at Vega, we need something to help even the odds. The Colonel and I handpicked the project staff for loyalty and technical ability. We're a mix of GTI R&D staff, old guard Alliance engineers from Sol, top graduates from the Human Futures program, and specialists like yourself. Our command structure is a little unorthodox by military standards, but as an academic I think you'll find it familiar. We're on a secure network built into the comm relay network at the hardware level. Not even the GTI rank and file know it exists. That we're being trusted with it shows just how seriously R&D is taking this, so let's not let them down. If you have any questions, by all means reach out to me. We can talk openly here. Source: Espinoza Z. Destination: Varner J. Thank you for your message, Captain, and thank you for having me. I must admit, Zach Espinoza, Director of Research at Vostok Station, has a certain ring to it. You're right about the org structure. It felt like being back at university. Synthetic coffee, though. That might take some getting used to. The 6 hours of briefing I just sat through answered most of my questions, but there was something more of an organizational nature I wanted to run by you. We've got plenty of space out here at Vostok, so why's your side of things at Masada? I'm sure there's a good reason. I'd just like to know what it is. And Varner to Espinoza. I'm glad to hear you're settling in, Zach. To answer your question, it's basically a CYA thing. Officially, Masada is a bastion for human survival, and we're building a system to quickly set up new defenses should the need arise. If the Oversight Committee gets curious about this project, that's exactly what they'll find. Of course, you, Colonel Nkmurah, and I have more proactive plans. If you're on the hunt for proper coffee, requisition a module for your hydroponics bay and call it staff morale. It'll come in with the next wave of personnel. You're one of us now, and GTI takes care of its own. Does it, though? I played Silent Threat and Silent Threat Reborn. I remember them trying to sanitize me. Alright, the escape pod black box log. This one has a play button.
Hello, is this thing... Okay, I'm Lizette Martinez, junior researcher. At least I was, before everything went to hell. I'm recording this in case... Look, people deserve to know what happened here. I came into this project after the Battle of Deneb. You know, after the Legion went down. Everyone's scared the Shivans are gonna wipe us out. We need a super weapon. Only, when I got here, that's not what I found. Half the crew's convinced the Shivans have already won. They're calling the project a legacy. Something to make our region of the galaxy safe for whatever civilization comes next. The other half, the higher-ups mostly, have the opposite perspective. They talk about the Shivans like they're already gone. Some of them want to use our work against the Basudans. And the others act like we're wasting our time and should be focused on something called Hades. You can see the tension. Just walk into the galley, the rec room, even the chapel. Anywhere people get together, and you'll see it in their eyes. Zach isn't doing anything to help. Squirreled away in his office with the other tech leads. Apparently it's even worse in the Iraklion. I can't imagine how. Well, it finally boiled over. One of the we're already dead folks and one of the well steamroll the Shivans easy folks started squaring off, and Ilia tried to throw down with both of them. That's my bunkmate. I guess she had it with both of them. Can't say I blame her, but that's how the fighting started. Someone, no idea who, tried to make off with the prototype. So now we're on lockdown, and this stupid pod won't move.
Warning, weapons fire detected. Warning, structural damage to space frame.
Oh god. Espinoza Nkmurah email. Finally get to hear from Colonel Nkmurah himself. Source, Nkmurah J. at Masada.gta. Destination, Espinoza Z. Doctor, I've got good news for a change. The Ophosis convoy did make it through the Shivan blockade after all, just after a crash jump to avoid a fighter patrol. That left them without enough fuel to enter the Iraklian, so they landed at Gulnara Research and phoned home when they were sure they hadn't been followed. My agent on the station retrieved the sensor. The rest is in the hands of a civilian team. We've had dealings with their leader before, and she can be trusted to notify us of anything relevant. That lets us maintain our focus. Call it a small measure of serendipity. We're working hard to make up for lost time. Like we'd hoped, the Ancients did most of the heavy lifting for us. Ahimate, that Zod specialist, really knows his stuff. He's got the Ancient control system responding, and most of the Shivan sensors are available that way. There are a few places where it looks like we'll have to talk to the Shivan hardware directly, but cross-referencing the ROS-128 data is working out okay so far. I fully expect us to have the protocol we came up with implemented on time. Inadam will have its theater-level Shivan monitoring system. Source, Espinoza Z, Destination Nkmurah. Colonel, I don't know how you do it. That's fantastic news, and I wish I could return the favor. Morale on my end's taken a real nosedive recently. The AI is strategically sound, and we've completed final verification that we'll know how to work with your manufacturing systems. We haven't been able to get the IFF working in a way that we can prove the Shivans won't be able to subvert. If we want to make the galaxy safe for whoever comes after us, we need that system working. I thought my people understood the importance of what we're building here, but they seem more interested in arguing with each other. Please advise. And Nkmurah to Espinoza. You should have brought that to my attention sooner, Doctor. Unfortunately, I don't have much in the way of advice. Personnel was Captain Varner's job. Since he left, I've started to see the same problems you're describing. All we can do is do the best we can. If the Alliance can't stop the Shivans, that weapon will be our legacy. The IFF problem is concerning, but we always knew time was the enemy. Inadam can monitor the Shivans and build a fleet to fight them. That's good enough. I'm ordering it to set ready status. Oh boy. Vostok Requisition Order. External Requisition Order status approved. Subject Vostok Station, a defunct asteroid base in the Lighten system. The subject consists of a system of Oort cloud objects artificially linked together by access shafts. Ambrosia Logistical Solutions designed the station to break up STX explorations near Monopoly and Lighten. They would extract the economically useful ores from these objects, simultaneously hollowing them out to create living spaces for future mining operations. Ambrosia intended to pay for the station with the proceeds from their contract to operate the GTE Carter. The Carter's subsequent crash, together with the Vostok object's mineral wealth being less than expected, led Ambrosia to abandon their designs in Lighten altogether, leaving the subject in an incomplete state. Purpose: to provide a secure, low-visibility facility for the aspects of Project Inadam which do not comply with 3 cause. Oh boy. Justification: the illegality of military AI research requires discretion. Man, they wrote all this down. The subject's inner volumes are of sufficient size for simulated combat, and shielded by thick rocky material, which provides a natural sensor baffle. Lighten is a frontier system not typically in the public consciousness, whose population is limited to STX exploration employees. STX crew rotations provide a convenient cover for GTI ships moving through the system. Risks: as a former civilian installation, the subject is not unknown outside of GTI. It is, however, obscure, especially since the dissolution of Ambrosia's mining division, and overshadowed by the infamous Carter wreck. To mitigate this risk, we recommend employing cover story B2, C2, or C5, although any standard cover story should be sufficient. Lighten's solar flares provide a risk to electronic systems and may prove especially problematic for an AI, although this risk is naturally mitigated by the asteroid material. Should the subject's habitation or administrative capabilities prove insufficient, Sites 26 and 58 are easily accessible by subspace and could be reactivated in an auxiliary capacity, although neither is sufficient for the project's research needs. Attachments 1-1. Farewell address by Ambrose's CEO. Transcript follows. Like the dwarves of Tolkien's Moria, the E and I are backwards, we dug too greedily and too deep. The asteroids we identified in Lighton hold valuable material, yes, but in far lower quantities than expected. In our haste to get a foothold in the system, we set up a station on the word of a shaky, incomplete assay, and scant months later it's run dry. Perhaps we could salvage the situation by turning it into a mining hub, were it not for my second great mistake. With the loss of the Carter, the Alliance has pulled our contract. Again, the fundamental problem was haste. Had we vetted the specifications more carefully, we would have identified the flaws that led to its loss. During my tenure as CEO, I followed an aggressive, high-risk, high-reward strategy. I counted on my people to rise to the challenge. They did, until I gave them an impossible challenge, then another. I was too caught up in my own world to listen to my own experts telling me my timeline was too short, too aggressive. I take full responsibility for these recent disasters, and as such I'm stepping down. Annalise Tocqueville, CEO Emeritus, Ambrosia Logistical Solutions. The research terminal log. This one is voiced.
We just got word of our new orders. It's some real bullshit if you ask me. Look, I get it. The Battle of Denham was bad. But when you really look at it, I mean really look at it, what actually happened, not just the numbers. It was 90% of the Lucifer's doing. And you know what? That ship isn't as scary as it looks. Project Judas got detailed scans and even infiltrated the docking bay. That sheath shield folds for Shivan's signatures. It has to for the Lucy's air wing. So that leaves us with an engineering challenge. Dress up some harbingers to look all Shivan, blow the hell out of its engines, whittle it down from there. Apparently it's content to play around in Zod space for now. I say let it. Let the parliamentary Vastiferan's empire buy its time. But no, we're to retool in Edam as an anti-Shivan weapon now. Stupid. Once we save the day, the Zods are going to be at our throat again. That's just the reality of the situation. I say we stick to our original objectives. After we drive off the Shivans, we should let in Edam loose on them, and then the Hades can play cleanup. I guess the brass don't see it that way. Nkmurah's got some kind of new toy, and apparently they've even brought Zod specialists on board to help install it. Hope they've got a damn good cover story for why they were building this thing to begin with. Espinoza's playing along. I guess he's geeking out about the new tech, but maybe he's a true believer too. Hard to get a read on that guy. He's like a turtle, only instead of a shell, he's got an office. I guess it doesn't matter. Ryback's still taking half our budget for the Hades, and it still doesn't matter because the Alliance gives us everything we ask for. Some folks have proposed a compromise, dragging our heels so Espinoza asks for more money, so Ryback takes more so the Hades gets done faster. I guess I could get behind that if it weren't for the way all these newcomers keep looking at me. They're scared, you know, of the Shivans, and they think we're going to be the ones to save the day and have peace, love, and ice cream with the Zods forever. They don't know shit. Computer, save this file to my personal... The hell? Who initiated lockdown?
Man, that's two audio logs from people who don't know they're about to die. And finally, Espinoza's note.
My name is Zach Espinoza, Director of Research at Vostok Station. If you're reading this, something's gone very, very wrong. Someone at Masada activated the Anedum space frame. The station's auxiliaries tried to stop it. It activated its self-defense protocols. Didn't even bother with guns. Just threw down an EMP and left. We pre-programmed the guidance computer to come here if it were activated without an AI unit. We gave them the ability to integrate automatically if needed. Why the hell did we do that? I wasn't entirely forthcoming in my earlier communication with Nkmurah. The AI is not ready. The AI isn't even close to ready. If I'd admitted that, maybe he'd have made a different decision. But I didn't. The Anedum space frame's on its way. And if that AI uploads itself, I have no idea what it will do. I've got one last chance. The upload won't unlock without my thumbprint. I ordered my personal guards to raid the armory and blow life support. I've got a rifle and a half a dozen cases of ammo. I just need to hold until the air runs out.
An audio log for someone who does know he's about to die. Wow. But yeah, these are the Carter manifests and the logs from that derelict transport. But anyway, that is that for the scan data from Between the Ashes, The Growing Silence for Freespace 2 here on Paladin Gaming. This is Paladin Gaming, signing off.